Hello friends, let us now learn about the next group of disorders, which are sexual disorders or gender identity disorders. Okay, what do you see in sexual disorders or sexual disorders or gender identity disorders? Sexual disorders or gender identity disorders can be divided into three major types. Okay, we have gender identity disorder of childhood, transsexualism, dual role transvestism. First, gender identity disorders of childhood. These gender identity disorders of childhood are most commonly seen in preschool years. Here, the child is predominantly preoccupied with dress and activity of opposite sex. That is, males or male child or boys like to wear frocks. Okay, the child expresses the desire to be of opposite sex. He rejects the behavior, attire and attributes of anatomical sex, but there is no rejection of anatomical structures. This is important here. He rejects anatomical sex, true, but he does not reject anatomical structures, though this type of rejection may also be seen in minority of patients. Okay, so this is about the first disorder, which is gender identity disorder of childhood. That means when a child, as he grows, he likes to wear clothes, wear frocks, okay, wear dresses or play with toys of opposite sex. So all those are seen, and he has rejection to his anatomical sex, but there is no rejection to anatomical structures. That is gender identity disorder of childhood. The second is transsexualism. In transsexualism, this is what is transsexualism? In this transsexualism, if you see, this is seen most commonly in adolescent males. Transsexualism is most commonly seen in adolescent males. Here, the adolescents, here they express the desire to live and treat as opposite sex. It is almost similar to this gender identity disorder, but most important, see, they express that they have discomfort with one's own sex. This is not there in this gender identity disorder of childhood. They even desire to change the sex with the help of surgery. Okay, so that is important things. Okay, so these are the important things which you see. So in gender identity disorder, it is seen in preschool children, and here the main important thing is they reject the behavior and attires and attributes of anatomical sex, but they do not reject the anatomical structures. But in transsexualism, they actually reject the anatomical structures also. Then we have the third type, which is called as dual role transvestism. What does dual role transvestism means? In this, the patient wears clothes of opposite sex and enjoys temporary feeling of belonging to opposite sex. Here he enjoys the temporary feeling of belonging to opposite sex, but there is no desire of permanent change of sex. Okay, then there is no sexual arousal which when associated with cross dressing. So this is dual role transsexualism. So the permanent desire, only the desire to change the sex permanently is present only in one disorder. What is it? In transsexualism. They have desire to change with the help of surgery is in transsexualism. Okay, so these are the main differences, remember. So in gender identity disorder of childhood in children, and he does not reject the anatomical structures, though they have rejection in behavior, attire and attributes of anatomical sex. In transsexualism, that is in adolescents, where they have discomfort with one's own sex and they have desire to change the sex with the help of surgery. In dual role transvestism, they have no desire to permanently change the sex. So this is about gender identity disorders. Next, what is the treatment? Treatment is, if they insist to change the sex, then you can do reassignment surgery, but first you should give the behavioral therapy. then the next group of disorders are disorders of sexual orientation. Okay, what are these disorders of sexual orientation include? So these are mainly, if you see, we have ego dystronic homosexuality. What does this mean? This means that the individual does not accept his or her sex and wanted to change the sex. That is ego dystronic homosexuality, where the individual wanted to change the sex and does not accept his sex. Okay, then second, let us learn about the phases of sexual response first. In the phases of sexual response, if you see, we have many stages. So in the first stage there is desire, that is the desire to have sex. So disorder for desire is hypoactive sexual disorder. Then second phase is excitement or arousal. In this excitement or arousal, there is penile erection or vaginal lubrication occurs. In this excitement or arousal, the patient has penile erection or vaginal lubrication. That means in this there will be nipple erection, engorgement or enlargement of size of testis, elevation of testis, engorgement and thickening of labia minora and clitoris occurs. And in this there will be physiological changes where there is increased BP. Okay, you also see increased BP and increased heart rate, and there is subjective, this is associated with subjective sense of pleasure. Okay, so here the disorder in this excitement stage is erectile dysfunction. Then the third stage is orgasm. Orgasm is peaking of sexual pleasure, that is here leading to release of sexual tension by along with ejaculation of semen. Here in females there is involuntary contraction and lower third of vagina and contraction of fundus of cervix downwards towards the cervix. Okay, here in females, see, in males there is release of ejaculation, whereas in females there is involuntary contraction of lower third of vagina and contraction of fundus towards the cervix. So if this is the uterus, okay, 1 minute. This is the uterus and this is the vagina. There will be contraction of uterus towards the cervix down like this, and there will be involuntary contraction of lower 1/3 of vagina also. Okay, and in males you see ejaculation of semen and release of sexual tension. The problem here will lead to premature ejaculation or anorgasmia. The problem here leads to premature ejaculation or anorgasmia. In fourth you see resolution. In resolution, body goes back to state of resting state, that is resolution. So these are the phases of sexual response cycle. Then we have what are the disorders of sexual desire. The disorders include, the first disorder is hypoactive sexual desire disorder. Second is sexual aversion disorder. Okay, first is hypoactive sexual desire disorder. This includes there is lack of desire of sexual activity. So in this there is FDA approved drug which can be given, which is flibanserin can be given. The side effect of flibanserin is hypotension occurs whenever if it is used with alcohol. So flibanserin can be used for hypoactive sexual desire disorder. The second disorder of sexual cycle is sexual desire is sexual aversion disorder. Here there is active aversion or active avoidance of sexual activity, that is called as sexual aversion disorder. Then we have next stage which is called as disorders of excitement phase. Okay, in this disorders of excitement phase there are different disorders for male and female. In the male we have male erection disorder or also called as erectile dysfunction. Okay, in the female we have in the female there is sexual arousal disorder. In the male or male erection disorder or erectile dysfunction, here the patient has recurrent or persistent inability to maintain erection. He is not able to do proper erection. So it can be due to anything. One of the reason is it can be due to psychological factors like anxiety, or it can be due to poor marital relationship or but in psychological factors, most important thing is early morning erections are present if it is due to psychological factors. If it is due to psychological factors, early morning erections are present. Erection in random eye movement sleep, that is REM sleep, that is nocturnal erection. Okay, this is suggests a psychological factor. Erection in REM sleep or nocturnal erections will also suggest the psychological factors. Then what are the investigations which are done? Investigations are, we can do penile plethysmography can be done. One can do penile plethysmography can be done, and also nocturnal penile tumescence can be done, can be used. We can use either penile plethysmography or nocturnal penile intumescence. So if it is physiological, okay, if the causes are physiological, if it is psychological, you should do that. If it is physiological, then it can be vascular causes like atherosclerosis, or neurological causes like autonomic neuropathy should be seen. Sorry, it's pathological. It can be pathological also. So pathological like atherosclerosis, or neurological like autonomic neuropathy. Okay, what are the treatment options available? You can use PDE5 analogs, PDE5 inhibitors, which are phosphodiesterase 5 inhibitors, which include sildenafil, tadalafil and vardenafil. So here there is increased blood flow to the penis occurs. Because these drugs will increase blood flow to the penis. We can also use oral phentolamine or alprostadil. Alprostadil can be given either transurethral injection or normal injection, and behavioral therapy can also be used. What is the most successful therapy? Most successful treatment is something called as dual sex therapy or simple sex therapy. This is mainly developed by Masters and Johnson's. So in this, the patient is asked, this is a couple, this is also called as couple therapy. Here they were asked to have sensory awareness, that is sensate focus exercises. That is, first there are two types of sensate focus exercises, that is non-genital sensate focus exercises first, and second we have genital sensate focus exercises. This is about the erectile dysfunction. The second is female sexual arousal disorder, that is inability to achieve vaginal lubrication during intercourse. In such cases, the treatment which is given in this case is use of lubricants during intercourse. You can ask the patient to use lubricants during the intercourse. Then these dual sex therapies are very this is important. This one liner is important. Next we have the next group of disorders, which are disorders of orgasm phase. The disorders of orgasm phase include, we have two disorders of orgasm phase. One which is premature ejaculation, second which is female orgasm disorder or male orgasm disorder. Okay, in female orgasm disorder, this is actually indeed the most common sexual disorder in females. Most common sexual disorder in females is female orgasm disorder. Okay, here there is delay or absence of orgasm. Okay, in male orgasmic disorder, there is retarded ejaculation, and for this psychotherapy should be given. Then the other major orgasm disorder is premature ejaculation, that is persistent or recurrent ejaculation with minimal sexual stimulation even before or immediately after vaginal penetration, is premature ejaculation. Etiology of this is psychogenic. So treatment is, you can use squeeze technique can be used. Okay, one can use squeeze technique. In squeeze technique, whenever male gets the feeling of impending ejaculation, female partner or man squeezes coronal ridge of glands and thus inhibits ejaculation. That is squeeze technique. Then second we have stop start technique or Siemens technique. In this, the male has the feeling of impending ejaculation. Whenever the male has the feeling of impending ejaculation, that is, he is going to ejaculate within few seconds, then they should have to stop sex for some time. Then excitement decreases, and then they can restart it. That is stop start technique or Siemens technique. So these are the techniques which are used for premature ejaculation. Then what are the other disorders which occur which are related to sexual issues? That is, one, we have dyspareunia. What is dyspareunia? Dyspareunia is recurrent or persistent genital pain in males or females during or after sexual intercourse is called as dyspareunia. Okay, then we have vaginismus. Vaginismus is normally the muscular normally during if I have already said you that normally during erection there will be contraction of lower 1/3 of vagina, but here during vaginismus there is involuntary contraction of outer 1/3 of vagina, thus resulting in difficulty in penile insertion. Then the third type of disorder is nymphomania. In nymphomania, there is increased sexual desire in females is seen in nymphomania. Then in cystidiasis, where there is increased sexual disorder in males is called as cystidiasis. Okay, so this is about the sexual disorders. So thank you guys for watching my lecture. In the next class we will learn about child psychiatry. Thank you.